What's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talks Tone, and today we're doing part 2 of the upgrade my Gibson Les G. No. Well, it's going to be more G because it's going to be sweet after today. Anyway, so the Gibson More G, I guess that's what we're going to call it. Anyways, so basically, you know the deal. I bought the Gibson. No, I want to keep saying it. I bought the Gibson SG Junior at the Gibson garage in Nashville. And we did some work to it, had to do a little adjustment on the nut, which was cool, no big deal there. And of course, I make pickups for a living, so I'm gonna put my P90 in it. So let's get into that really quick. Let's put that in there, let's listen to it, and then I'm gonna kind of tell you what I felt and heard and etc. on that whole deal. Before we get going, please hit the like button if you like guitar stuff. It helps the channel, and it helps you have a better YouTube experience because you won't see stuff you don't like. So hit the like button. It helps us both. We are going to take the Gibson pickup out of this here cool Gibson Les Paul Jr. and we're going to put mine in there because I make pickups and that's what I do, and I'm excited because P90s are my favorite pickup in the world. This is probably one of my dream guitars of all time, and so I'm super stoked to have one and be able to mod it and be able to do fun stuff with it. So I don't know that I'm gonna mod anything else other than that, but anyway, I'm super stoked about it. One of the things we need to do is get the back open and see what's inside there, because there's been a bunch of people that have been asking me, is it a PCB board, is it anything like that? So let's flip it over and check it out. So as we're getting into this thing, I'm fairly certain that this is not a PCB board because this is an original series. So when Gibson kind of revamped everything a couple of years ago, they called this the original series and went kind of back to original spec, kind of away from some more of that gimmicky stuff that they'd been doing in the past. So I'm pretty sure when we open this thing that it's just going to be legit old school Gibson stuff, but let's see. Yep, basically just CTS pots and an orange drop cap and braided wire on the humbucker, or I mean on the P90, switchcraft jack, super legit stuff. Looks just like an old school Gibson guitar, which is what it should be really when it comes to doing this stuff, so it's pretty awesome. Well, I guess the next thing to do would be well, let's whip the strings off of it first, and then we will go from there. My plan has been the whole time to replace these strings anyway. These are the original ones that have been on the guitar. All right, let's desolder this bad boy and get it out of here. You might be wondering why I'm adding solder. It just helps to heat sink it a little bit. Geez, that gets hot quick. There we go. All right, let's flip it over and get this thing out of here. All right, so before we put the new pickup in, let's look at what the old one is. This is just a P90. It's got it labeled on the back there. And it's interesting that it's got a stamped brass base plate. with 2 Alnico 5 rough cut sand cast magnets in there. It was made February 2nd, 2021. It's got a date right on the bottom. Pretty much general issue stuff. All right, let's go grab the good one and we'll put that in there. All right, so here's mine. This is just my spec, 10,000 lines of 42, super simple. We keep it pretty vintage spec too. Proper nickel base plate. It's interesting that the Gibson one has brass. I don't know why that would be. I do not use braided wire because I think it's dumb and hard to work with, and it does nothing for the tone or shielding or any of that stuff that people try to make up about it. I don't waste my time with it. That dude fits just like that. That dude fits just like that. Screws right in the factory location. Hot wire's done. I guess let's go ahead and throw some strings on it and we'll give it a listen. Okay, so probably should show you what I just used in that demo. So here's a clip of that. All right, so for the demo, we were just using the SG with, of course, the new pickup, the Dylan Pickups P90. Runway audio cable. Make sure you check these out. There's a link below and a discount code, so that's cool. And then my pedal board is super simple really right now. I just put a Polytune on there, which is sweet. I was actually only using the DNM drive just on the boost channel. That was really it, as well as the caverns with a little bit of reverb there. And then into the Origin 20 Marshall amp. So super simple rig. That's what I've been using basically for all of my playing stuff lately. As you probably are aware, I don't play clean very often. This guitar doesn't really, I mean, it's so punk rock that I don't know. You're not playing jazz on it, right? So it's just kind of rock and roll. So the D&M drive with some boost, it gets pretty gnarly. One of the things that I really enjoy about the new pickup over the Gibson one is that it actually cleans up with the knob a little bit, and it's a lot more touch sensitive. What I found with the Gibson one is it was just basically the same tone at every volume. Like you just turn the volume down and it was the same thing, only quieter. Now I didn't change pots, no pot taper, none of that, so this is only pickup. And with this new pickup in it, basically when you turn the volume down, it cleans up a little bit. Depends on how you have the amp set, but just all other settings aside, the same, you know, before and after. You turn it down a little bit, it cleans up a little bit, it gets really touch sensitive. You can play kind of clean and soft and then kind of dig into it and it gets dirty on you. I just really like that dynamic, especially with a single pickup guitar, because you're limited, right? Because you have a single pickup guitar, so having that extra expression is pretty sweet, which I really love. That's kind of a hallmark of all of our pickups at Dylan Talks Tone. I really work hard on that to make sure that like you could play with one pedal or straight into an amp and do everything you need to do and have drive and have clean and, you know, just with the knobs on your guitar. So that's really important to me. One thing you should note is this is a dog ear pickup, but a dog ear and a soap bar are exactly the same innards. So they have the same windings, the same bobbin, the same screws, the same magnets, the same everything. The only thing that's different is the mounting base plate and the cover. So tonally, a soap bar, if you're shopping for a soap bar P90, this would be exactly the same sound, exactly the same pickup. The only downside to this little demo we just did is obviously I don't have a neck pickup to show you. One of the hallmarks, the other hallmarks of Dylan Talks Tone stuff is clarity on top. You probably noticed that immediately. I like that sparkly clarity. You can always take it away with a tone knob. You can always take it away with, you know, on a Marshall, turning your presence down a little bit. But you can never put that into a guitar that doesn't have it to begin with. And so I really care about that little sparkle on top. I like to give that. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but the Gibson didn't have that near like this new pickup does. And I'm super stoked with the overall results. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you check out the cables down below at Runway Audio. Make sure you use the Dylan Talks Tone discount code to buy those cables. Make sure you go to Dylan Talks Tone and buy a P90 because I think you would really dig it. If you do not have a P90 guitar, we have pickups for lots of other guitars. So please check those out. That would be awesome. That's really what keeps the channel going, is you supporting that stuff. So I really appreciate that very much. And if you have any questions about any of it, either put it in the comments or show up for the live stream on Thursday. That's a really good way to get some live interaction. I love hanging out with everybody and comments and that sort of stuff. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, like and subscribe and share and all that kind of stuff too. All right, we'll see you soon.